What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yet again, and talk about, again, in my opinion, how well the game is doing. Now, I've been saying that for a while. I sound like a broken record, but now we have some stat guys, right? Some people that kind of keep track of things. They're even echoing that, yeah, this was actually an incredibly good Steam launch, and, you're having kind of the discussion. I think Jason Schreier even said today, like, this is another reason, or this is another kind of push of a reason, right? Why especially these third-party studios, right? They're not going to be doing these console exclusivity things anymore. And, we talked about it specifically with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where I think that, look, the numbers still aren't, concrete. We won't know, I think, for a while. But if they can match or even get close to matching on PC what they did on PlayStation, yeah, they talk about it just not really living up to their expectations. And Square Enix says that a lot, right? We've talked about that too. But even if that's true and Rebirth didn't do well on PS5, I think it's going to do quite well on PC, and even if they don't think it did all that well on PC, I think the two combined should be rather good. It continues again to bring up the question to me when it comes to Part 3, right? Final Fantasy VII, the final part to this trilogy. Can they have it come out on PC and PlayStation the same day? Does it come out on Xbox the same day? Do they wait like a month or two to put it on PC? Because I think as they can probably see right now, it's very important. So even just really quickly, before I go over like the new, what the analysts are saying, just looking at the Steam charts right now, it's still doing really, really well. 19,000 people playing it at the time I'm recording this. 25,000 is still a 24-hour peak. And yeah, 9 days ago, it's not going to hit that again, but 40,500, right? And I talked about this when it first came out. I expected Final Fantasy VII, right? Just generally, I expected that to do really good, or at least pick up a little bit. And it certainly did. It actually got into, I think, 7,000 people were playing it concurrently around the same time. But one thing I looked at too was like, well, what about the reviews, right? So you have 9,000, almost 9,500 people that have reviewed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then you got about 34,000 people. So you got about a third of people that reviewed Rebirth as remake, right? And it's only been out, 10 or so days? And then you could look at, obviously, the estimated sales, as we've talked about in the past. 7 remake on PC has been estimated somewhere around 1 million, let's say, right? The estimation right now for Rebirth ranges from like 300 to 600,000. So it's already, almost halfway what Remake did, and it's been out, 3 years less time, than Remake. So again, just kind of going over things that I've said in the past, I think the game's doing really, really well by the stats, and I imagine this thing is going to sell, 1.5 million units pretty easily when all's said and done on PC. Okay, now in terms of what the people are saying, the analytic guys are saying, which I love analytics, by the way. Matt Piscatella says Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had a fantastic Steam launch across physical and tracked digital. It was the best-selling game of the week, ending on January 25th in the U.S. market in terms of dollars, while the twin pack of Remake and Rebirth ranked third overall. Now, to be fair, okay, because I do like to look at all sides. Like, I'm not over here just like declaring like my way or the highway, okay? I've really never been like that. But, to be fair, it is US, okay? And, the physical thing is interesting because he says physical and tracked digital. Nobody's buying PC, right? Steam. Nobody's buying that physically anymore. I don't think that's even possible, right? So I wonder if it just got a boost in general, right? It comes to PC. I wonder if people also bought it, right, on PlayStation. Maybe they didn't get it before. Maybe they bought it twice or whatever. But so I wonder, if it almost helped each other, right? And another thing, I guess I would say, to play devil's advocate on myself, okay, you're talking about the week ending January 25th. You really don't have, like, Dynasty Warriors. I don't even know, I forget actually when that officially came out. I think it had some sort of early access, or maybe it didn't. But basically, that's what I'm trying to say. That week was kind of dead, right? So to finish first and third, I'm not taking away from, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate against myself, but there wasn't really a lot out, right? In fact, it was probably competing against like Call of Duty and Hogwarts Legacy and some of these legacy titles that are just always in the top 10, right? When all these games start to die down and there's no new games, there's always like the same 10 or 15 games that rise back up, right? Those are kind of the games that this would be tracking, that Final Fantasy would be going up against, right? It actually would be more interesting to see, okay, can it stay in like a top 5, in terms of dollars spent, okay? And that's a big deal, right? Because that's like, okay, full price purchases, all that jazz. Okay, we're about to to enter. In fact, we are entering maybe the busiest month that we might get this year, at least so far. It absolutely is, right? But it's probably going to be one of the higher months of the entire year. Kingdom Come, Avowed, Lost Records, Like a Dragon, Monster Hunter at the end of the month. Can it stay high throughout the whole month? Because we're going to have about 5 to 6 big games that come out this month that could easily kick it completely out of the top 10. You know what I mean? If all 6 big games in February go over it, and then this game is like 7, 8, 9, that's still pretty good. But if it's like, okay, well, now it's like 15, 16, 17, and all these games are like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? So it's like how long is it going to last type thing. But at the same time, like I said, that's why I wanted to do the first part of this video first. It's already doing really well. It's already probably getting half as much as Final Fantasy VII Remake did, and Remake has had 3 or so years on PC. This game has had like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So this game has done really, really well, very, very quickly, way faster than the last game did. So by the time you get to part 3, which 2-3 years from now, right? How much will Rebirth have done on PC? Probably 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million units. Again, and as I said before, might even reach whatever the PS5 numbers are that we don't actually know, by the way. It might reach those too. So, and I think that would make, by the way, Square Enix very happy, right? If you can match it and kind of just go like 1 and 1, and then if you do Xbox and say that does a little something too, like that's not bad at all, right? So, I don't know. I want this game to be successful. I love this game to death. I want more of them. Obviously, we are getting the third one, but I just want it to do well just in general, if you're wondering why I care so much, I guess. I do find it interesting too as well, right? So I've been saying it's been doing good on PC. Other people are now saying it, so people can get off my back. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.